Hey everyone, welcome to Love to Create by Tonya. Today I'm going to be working on some spring farmhouse decor. In this video, I'm going to be mixing some of my thrift store finds with some of my mini decor pieces. The first thing I'm going to do is take the thrift store finds and I'm going to apply a coat of that silver lining Waverly chalk paint. I usually have to do 2 coats on all of these to get them to cover really well, but I'll speed this one up so we can get it done quickly. I decided just to go ahead and paint all of my wood pieces first, and then we'll get into the decorating part. But I just love this silver lining. It's a really pretty light gray color, and since I'm going to be using my decor pieces in my dining room and kitchen area, they match really well with my home decor. Now I'm going to take the lid to this wood box and I'm going to go ahead and just spackle in that hole where the knob was, and then I'm going to be using this for a riser for my mini decor pieces. And then I just picked up some of those little assorted caps from Walmart, and they work great for the legs on these risers. Now I've decided to paint mine black with that Waverly ink colored chalk paint, and I just do 1 coat on the bottom and the top. And then I found these little stencil packs at Dollar General, and they have really neat little borders, and I found one in that pack that has like a leaf design, and we're going to be taking that and just putting it around the edges, and then we're going to be distressing this with a sanding block, and it turned out beautiful. I just love how it looks with my 3 little repurposed gnomes setting on it. Now while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and just get the legs painted on my little wood box. And then this was a cute little cutting board. It was very aged and it kind of had that little sway in the middle, which I'm going to use this one to set my soap dispenser on by my sink. And of course I'm going to add those little caps again. Now I tried some of the Dollar Tree acrylic paint that they had in the white, and I don't know if any of you have tried that one yet. It's a very thin paint and it worked really well to just do almost like a whitewash on this board, so I will definitely be using that for this from now on because I love the way it worked. It was just thin enough that you didn't really need to water it down. Now I did end up putting a coat of Mod Podge on top of this, which I didn't film that part, and that sealed everything in. Now I'm going to take that other wood box, which $2 was such a great deal, and this one I'm going to use to set on my counter and just have some little flowers and a couple of my little tart dishes in there. But what a great little box for $2. And of course I'm going to go ahead and use that same silver lining paint, and then I'm just going to do my little wooden bowl here with some of the white chalk paint, and then we're going to fill this one with the flowers. Now here's a picture of all of the thrift store finds that I found, and we didn't get to all of those, and you can see I've got little fingers pointing there. These are going to be the ones that are going to be coming up next week. Now I wanted to distress this a little bit, so I had never tried this with my scissors, but I just took my scissors and done several little scratches across there and then did another layer of the Mod Podge, and I really like how that turned out. Now of course I used my pool noodles, and I am kind of allergic to that moss, so I decided to try some of that Easter grass, and I actually really like that little pop of lime green in there. And I picked these flowers up from Walmart. They were the ones they set out at the end of the Valentine's Day holiday, and it was just a beautiful little cluster of the white roses. They actually had them in pink also, but I thought that these would be perfect for my kitchen decor. And then of course I've got some of the greenery there that I had picked up at Dollar Tree, and I think I did some of the lilacs too and put in here, and I just love how this one turned out. I do take a black magic marker, and I think I aged a few little places around the edges on all of these. But didn't this make just a cute little centerpiece? I'm actually gonna just set mine on the counter, but you could actually put it on your table as a centerpiece also. Now here are some of those stencils that I picked up from Dollar General, and there's several different borders in there. I'm going to use this one that looks like a leaf design and just go around the edges of my riser. And I had already aged that a little bit with my sanding block, and then I decided to go ahead and get my border on real quick. But I love how this turned out. Once I put the Mod Podge glaze on top of there, it just seemed like it brightened up everything as far as the lines and the aging, and just turned out beautiful. And I love how it looks with the little gnomes setting on there. Now we're going to go ahead and decorate our wood box. I'm going to take that little white bowl, pop some of those flowers in there and greenery from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use a little more Easter grass to hide the red pool noodle, and pop in those tart dishes of mine. And I do end up using one of the Crafter Square stencils to put on the front that just says "Create Your Own Happiness," and I just love how this looks on my counter. And I just wanted to keep this box kind of simple. I didn't really want to glue anything down because I thought I'd be able to use it for other decor ideas. Now we're going to go ahead and start on our little birds, and I'm just drilling a hole in the bottom of these. And I picked these birds up from Dollar General, and I'm just going to make little stands for them to stand on. I'm just going to take some of these little wood blocks and glue some together. I think I picked this set up of the little tiny dowels and the wood blocks from Hobby Lobby. But you could use just a dowel rod from Dollar Tree and some of the little wood boards. Now I will tell you, these birds were a little bit heavier, and I wished I would have made my base just a little bit bigger, but they seemed to do okay. I actually ended up taking one of the birds and just breaking off the stand because I decided that I wanted to just set down in the greenery that I had around it. But I'm just going to use the white chalk paint on these, and then I'm going to take and drag through some of that mineral color just to kind of give the look of the feathers throughout each one of the birds. And of course I'll paint on some eyes and their little beaks with the black. Now I did end up taking some of that black and just kind of dragging it through the stand, and I ended up not liking that, so I ended up going back and just painting my stand a solid black. But I thought these birds were adorable, and like I said, I found them at Dollar General, and they're only $1 a piece. Now I do end up taking some of the white acrylic paint that I found at Dollar Tree, and I kind of go around the black part of the eye, and that really made those pop out a little bit and have a more realistic look. Everyone, you'll have to let me know what you're thinking of our DIYs today in the comments below. And let me know which one of the thrift store finds was your favorite, if you had a favorite. Now here I am just going ahead and covering those up with that black paint, and I like that a lot better once I put my greenery on the bottom around the birds. And I'll leave a link in the description below if you would like to purchase some of this greenery. I actually found that one on Amazon. But these make such great little accents for your tier tray, and I actually put mine on my bread box in my kitchen. And because they were heavy, I used the little two-sided sticky tabs that they have there at Dollar Tree, and they're great to put on the bottom of these little pieces if you're worried about them tumbling over, because they do have a little extra weight to them. And I'm just going to take a little more of that paint and drag it through the bird. Like I said, you can tell it almost goes on like a glaze. I really like that about it. You can see where I paint that white around the eyes. It gives a more realistic look to the eyes. Well, everyone, I'm loving how these little birds are turning out, and I hope you are too. You'll have to let me know what you think. Okay, here are the 3 little gnomes that I found at Dollar Tree, and I love how these turned out. It did take several coats of the chalk paint. I'm sorry, I used chalk paint to get them to cover, and I did end up putting a couple of glazes of the Mod Podge on there. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to paint them with the ivory color all over instead of the white. And I covered the body of the gnome and the hat, and then I decided just to go over everything because I knew that it was going to be hard to get it to stick to this because it's glass. But then I used that silver lining because I wanted to follow through with my same color theme. And I make their little beards that light gray. And then I just touch up their little noses with a little bit of a white paint. And I just love how they turned out. And all of their little hats are going to be the celery green. There was a few little chips that actually happened on a couple of them after the paint dried, but I kind of left that because I just liked that it had a little aged look to it. I think this might actually be my 3rd coat of the chalk paint, but it was worth it when you see how they turned out. And these are the little guys, of course, you saw that I put on my riser. Touch up a few places where we had a scratch, and now we're going to add that silver lining on there for their beards. Now we're going to take that celery colored chalk paint and I'm just going to paint each one of their hats. I was going to paint them different colors, but I really liked them once I got them all painted the same color. And plus they looked really good on that little black riser that I made. And you could do some extra little accent pieces to these. You could add some little rope twine to their hat, or you can even add some of these little rub-on sayings like I'm gonna do. I found these in the Crafter's Square section at Dollar Tree, and I thought it was really neat. I found enough words that I could put together a saying that said, "Forever embrace kindness," and I thought that was just the sweetest little saying. So if you haven't found these little rub-on sayings yet, I had to kind of look through them. A lot of them are in the back behind other ones, but they were definitely worth $1. There was so many different words on there that you could put together different types of little sayings. And they went on top of this really well, even though I Mod Podged it. Actually, I think having the Mod Podge on there first helped not to pull up the paint. So that's a little tip that I tried and it seemed to work really well. Well, everyone, I hope you are still here with me today, and I hope you're enjoying these DIYs. Well, everyone, we're going to move on to our last DIY, and that's where I just had taken one of the long wood signs from Dollar Tree, cut it into 6 little pieces, and I made some really cute little wood signs to set on the tier tray. And I ended up using those same Crafter's Square rub-on sayings, and I just picked some cute little sayings out, and then we're going to take and wrap some rope twine around these. And I'm going to add a little bit more greenery to the top, and they made just really cute little accent pieces. Well, everyone, I hope you have enjoyed our DIYs today. You'll have to let me know which ones are your favorites. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you consider doing so. I would love to have you as part of my YouTube family. And if you are a subscriber, I thank you so much for your support. And I hope that you can give me a thumbs up for this video. That really does help YouTube notice my channel a little bit more. And if you have some thoughts or other comments about things you would like to see made here on my channel, just drop that in the comments below also. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you finish watching this one, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great week.